started a video on how to add fruits in a map, but it turned out to be a very long video. So I'm going to break it down into 2 or 3 parts, hopefully, and this should go by pretty easily. And I come to FSUK's website because the mod is actually, I believe, on Mod Hub, but I thought I would find it easier here. Let's just do a search. We're going to start out with the basics. You're going to get the textures. You're going to get the multi-fruit module mod if you want to go that route. If you do not go that route, then you're in for some extra coding that I will not be addressing. There's just not enough time. Or maybe plenty of time, just be several videos. So let's just do a search for multi-fruit module. Alright, we know LS15's got it. I don't believe they are the original hoster. Yeah, the one by Upside Down. I think Jacob Tischler helped on some of it, but it was actually on Mod Hub. Let's just see if we could search it. Should get this close. Oh crap! I tell you what. Assuming this is the latest version, there's going to be 2, like it says. You can read the description, yada 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 yada. It's going to be 2 of them. One of them is going to be ZZZ multi-fruit zip, and the other one will be ZZZ multi-fruit module. This is the one you need to be concerned with if you're putting in fruits in your map. Alright, I've already got it, so I will show you what it looks like. This one and this one, this one and this one. Alright, I had to pause. Okay, so you have them in your mods folder. Unzip the module. Unzip it to the folder, preferably in your mods folder. Open it up, and I believe it's that one. No, it's not that one. Multi-fruit config, it's got to be that one. Okay. Open up multi-fruit config. You're not going to see all this because I've included it. They do have, I believe silage was in there and forage is in there as an example. So what you want to do is create a new line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, see I have 6 in mine. Let's say you have sunflower. Sunflower is going to be a substandard. You can use it rape, maize, wheat, whatever. It's just going to be the sowing, the way it looks. Not the actual, it's going to look like sunflowers when it grows. The sub cutter, this is what you're going to use to harvest sunflowers. I wanted to use a corn header, flathead header to harvest sunflowers. So I had it as maize. If you put wheat or barley or rape, it will use the round cutter. And I've used barley. I could have just did barley, but I did barley rape. But anyway, soybean, I wanted the round header. So I used barley. Cotton, round header, rape, oat, barley, sorghum, maize. There again, I wanted the flathead. Sugar cane, I wanted to use the flathead. Probably shouldn't have, but anyway. This is where you're going to be able to choose what harvester. You do not need a modded harvester to harvest your fruits. I've explained that in several different forums when people were downloading my map and they would ask, what harvester do I use? Well, you don't use any, you use the in-game ones. You don't have to download nothing specific. All in-game, if you do this, all in-game equipment will harvest this stuff. Multi-fruit config. So, there's one other thing I recommend people getting. And the only reason why, and if you read the description of Upside Down, they did a good job on these two, make it a lot easier. If you read the description, there was some trouble, or you would not need the add field types mod, or it may cause trouble. I keep it in, and if I don't have it in, I can't use certain trailers to haul manure. I would get the add field types mod as a recommendation. According to them, it's not required, but I actually have stuff in my map that may be coded a little different, or I may have used a Lua that may have interacted or faltered, but the add fill top mod for me is a must, and I've highly recommended it every time, especially if you're using my map, the states map. I highly recommended the add fill tops mod. And for multi-fruits to work, you have to have these two. And then, of course, when you go to add the chopped straw, and the compost soil was a mod that was in the map. But anyway, this is about adding fruits. Those are the two files you need to add fruits. We'll go into the Lua file you're going to need. We'll go into the XML file that you'll have to update. Your map, your mod description. Let's open it up. Now, you have those two fruits. You've edited what harvester you want it to work. So now, you may not have all this if you're working on a fresh or new map, but under the 110 section, in your text section, you need to add your fruit or fruits. You need to put the name, the English name, and then if you're really nice, put the German one, especially if you put your map up to be downloaded. The game is actually a German game, so if you want them to know what fruits they are, if you want to just keep it nice and neat and uniform and just make things, I don't know, more user-friendly, use Google Translate. Add the German name. And then you can make it nice and neat, or you can just goulash it up. It doesn't matter. Okay, you have those in there. Scroll on down to your mod description. You're going to need to make an entry. Now, I commented these out in this map, but another map I have, they're not commented out. And basically what it does is it registers it twice. The multi-fruit module will register, the two multi-fruit module zip files, one of them will register it. The Lua will register it in your XML. It doesn't hurt. All it'll show in the log is soybean is already been registered. Additional fruit types or fruit register will skip this registration. All it does is try and register it twice. I put them in here. Like I say, I commented out another map I did. I actually leave it in there. I did it a little different. But you're going to need this. I would go ahead and do this. Additional fruit types. One thing, and if you comment it out later, That's no big deal. If you're when we get to the Lua, editing the Lua file, when we get to it, if you don't want to see it double registered or the message it says, it'll say soybean registering soybean, or soybeans already registered, skipping by, or it'll say soybeans already registered by such and such Lua, skipping registration. That's all you'll see. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't do anything. I went back and commented it out, because what it does is when you comment it out, it allows the game not to see it here, and it'll actually register it in the Lua. So you need additional fruit types. Where you put your map HUD, your icons, when you open the game, let me show you. Okay, like I said, all right. The HUD icons, what I was just showing you. Let me just get rid of that so it don't keep loading. Your additional fruit type HUD directory, map01 HUD. You don't have to have it map01 HUD. You can put it anywhere you want to. But that's where it's going to see your fruit icons. These HUDs right here. And this is actually a universal process kit thing. That's the only reason it shows up in there. But anyway, here you got it right here. So you need those HUDs. Those are 256 by 256. The second HUD will be the ones in the bottom right hand corner, like in your trailer. It'll show up. Those have to be 64 by 64. So if you have any of these, or you open Photoshop or whatever and resize the 64 by 64, and it'll make a copy. Most people name it HUD small, whatever the name of the HUD is. But we are talking about this for now. We're going to do this step by step in Singularity so you get it right. I can't remember where I got this information, but everything I've added in here after that has been based off of this, with the exception of cotton. And you know what? I don't have this in this map anymore, so I'm going to delete it. That's one good reason why it was commented out, or otherwise I would have gotten an error message. So take this string and put it in your map. I hope you got all that. If you didn't, email me. I was hoping I could put some of this stuff up to be downloaded. I can do that, no big deal. But you'll need to put that string in there. Now, of course, if it's not soybean, you can change it to whatever you want, but it's going to say allow seeding, yes, use seeding with, no. Keep those the same. One other thing I want to mention, if you're making windrow, or if you want the crop after you harvest it to create a windrow, this has to be true. This one is true because it's oat. So if you want it to have windrow, make it true. If you don't, false. Now, that's the first thing, or the second or third, however you want to look at it. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to need a Lua. You're going to need a fruit register Lua. If you do not have it, some people use this one. Some people use additional fruit type Lua. And I thought I had it in this one, but I took it out. I did actually have two. You need to find a fruit register Lua. Now I'll show you what it looks like. Let's see. This is kind of the nuts and bolts of your map. What you're going to do on this Lua, like I say, these are downloadable, and there's usually in Jacob Tischler and Upside Down, they actually have this. So you can copy and paste it out and create your own. But what this is going to do is, let's just say it's oat you want, register fruit type, get file name, map01 HUD. Remember the HUD I told you? It's going to, whatever your HUD name is, on the left hand side column, that's where it's going to tell the game that's your HUD. Alright? Oat HUD overlay small. map01 HUD. You do not have to put the small in here. This is for the fruit on your left hand column of the screen. This here has nothing to do with what goes in the vehicle, or it doesn't. It's basically what tells the game, you know, this is your left hand column of your list of fruits, and how it seeds, growth, the time it grows, whether it's got windrow, yada yada yada. But anyway, so a lot of this can be just explained here also. So this fruit register will actually skip the registration if this is in here and not commented out. But the one thing I like commenting these out is because in here you get to tell it to do a little more detail. For instance, make sure your names are correct. It's got to be exact. In here, one different thing for, let's say, oat, you see soybean doesn't have a local, an extra string. Or if you want windrow, this command line will have to go in there, and you'll of course need a HUD windrow DDS file. Alright, this one doesn't have windrow, so you're not going to need that line. So if your crop doesn't have windrow, you can delete that line out. Fruit register, the I-18 get text, that actually is, I think it's in the, when you pull up the map and see where the stages, your growth stages are, that's the text that I believe is displayed there. And then out beside it here, this is the color. You know how you have your wheat, rape. This is on your screen in the game when you scroll over and you see where it's green, ready to harvest, blue, yada yada yada. Anyway, the square box on the left hand side of the fruit, this is the color of that. And you can see this here. I basically, I think, took oat from someone had it, or I forget, or someone had a map. These were their colors. I think soybean, I can't remember what I did there, but I've mainly just changed these numbers here. Anytime I added a new fruit, I'll just change that 6 or the 5 or the 1. Oh, dog's going crazy up there. But that's the number I would change to change that fruit there. And I'll be right back. Okay, sorry. Somebody at the door. Like I said, I've always just changed like the 6 to, you see here, I did like a 2, 3, 4, but that will change the color squared box. I will upload this Lua if anyone needs it. As far as I know, it don't belong to anybody. So what you do next, oat in the fruit type description, show it as wheat. And the reason why is you will have to completely register a whole new fruit. And I think someone had oat windrow as a completely new fruit, and they didn't have it entered in to the Lua File correctly. So what what happened was the windrow that was dropped, there was no equipment that would pick it up because it was not technically. It was basically oat windrow but when it makes windrow, it'll make wheat. All right, it'll be wheat windrow. So all the equipment, you could actually do barley, but all the equipment in the game will pick it up. But if you don't, it's not going to pick it up. You're going to have to change the registration or do some more stuff, or actually register oat windrow as a whole new fruit. So soybean, I just did soybean. Sunflower. I think I got sunflower registered as wheat. I don't know why, but that could actually be changed. Anyway, so get this. I'll send you this. That way you got a windrow and a fruit. So you just delete if your fruit doesn't have this line. You can just delete it. All right. And this video is almost 30 minutes long already, so you can imagine the other one was ridiculously long. So the next thing we'll try and get into is editing the i3D file, so you can add fruits the correct way. We'll get into this. This is a bit confusing for people that do not know anything about it or haven't, but most people, if they're looking, the questions have been asked is we'll cover this and of course this, so people know a little more about this than they do the other, but we'll get into that next video. And thank you guys for watching. Please like, and hopefully I can continue these as I learn or know something. I'll be glad to share it. If there's anything you would like to know or see a video on, please let me know. Thank you.